Hello everyone. Good morning and good evening. Thank you to SIOP Organizing Committee for the invitation. Hello everyone. Good morning and good evening. Thank you to SIOP Organizing Committee for the invitation. I will be presenting on the management of intracranial germ cell tumor. I have nothing to disclose. This is the outline of my presentation. I will be discussing about incidence and epidemiology, diagnosis, treatment strategies in pure geminoma and non-geminomatous germ cell tumor, and challenges in the treatment of intracranial germ cell tumor. As you all know, primary intracranial germ cell tumor is a rare heterogeneous group of tumor. In North America and Europe, intracranial germ cell tumor represents 3% of pediatric central nervous system tumor. By contrast, these tumors are substantially more frequent in Japan and other Asian countries with a reported incidence up to 9 to 15%. The peak incidence of intracranial germ cell tumor is during second decade of life. A significant difference in the distribution of intracranial germ cell tumors by neuroanatomical location between geographical groups was observed, in which frequency of basal ganglia intracranial germ cell tumor was higher in East Asia, whereas bifocal location intracranial germ cell tumor was reported to be higher in Europe. Tumor markers should be considered whenever pineal or suprasellar tumor is identified in the radiological imaging. The distinction between pure geminoma and non-geminomatous germ cell tumor is critical since patients with pure geminoma have a more favorable outcome and require less intensive treatment. There is no consensus on the level of beta-ACG across the continents. Beta-ACG can be negative in serum with positive value in CSF. However, in pure geminoma, both serum and CSF AFP should be negative. The diagnostic threshold values for beta-ACG and AFP for non-geminomatous germ cell tumor and pure geminoma are different between COG and SIOP. Nevertheless, tissue biopsy is needed if tumor markers are normal except in bifocal tumors. Positive CSF tumor markers are not considered as spinal dissemination, and bifocal lesions are not considered as metastatic disease. The therapeutic categorization in Japan is a bit different to Europe and US. The Japanese brain tumor group classifies intracranial germ cell tumors according to histological features and tumor markers into good risk, intermediate risk, and poor risk. Pure geminoma is typically infiltrated by lymphocytic component. Therefore, the tumor has tendency to shrink with steroid treatment alone. Hence, caution to be exercised in the interpretation of tumor size reduction in response to dexamethasone. Historically, CSI with primary tumor boost has been the gold standard in the treatment of pure geminoma. However, several studies reported a low spinal failure rate with whole ventricular radiation and whole brain radiation without CSI. This raised the question regarding the need of CSI in localized pure geminoma. Chemotherapy-only approach did not show any promising result. This approach showed high recurrence rate with treatment-related complication. Hence, chemotherapy-only approach cannot be recommended in pure geminoma. Hence, combination of treatment with chemotherapy and radiotherapy is a treatment of choice in pure geminoma as shown in this slide with excellent event-free survival and overall survival across the continent. In the next few slides, I will be discussing about the treatment strategies in pure geminoma. In this French study, 60 localized pure geminoma patients were treated with 4 courses of chemotherapy followed by limited field focal radiation of 40 Gray. Out of these 60 patients, 10 patients relapsed with a median time of 32 months. On detailed analysis, 8 out of 10 patients showed disease recurrence within the ventricular system as shown in this figure, in which 5 patients relapsed in the ventricular system, 1 patient had disease recurrence at the posterior fossa and ventricular system, 2 patients had tumor recurrence at the tumor bed and ventricular system, and 1 patient had positive CSF for malignant cells. Hence, the finding concluded that excess of periventricular relapses occur when focal radiation is used in combination with chemotherapy. Therefore, whole ventricular radiation was recommended in addition to focal radiation to decrease the incidence of relapses along the ventricular system in localized pure geminoma. Similar finding was also demonstrated in the Japanese study. A total of 123 patients with geminoma with normal beta ACG were treated with chemotherapy and randomized into 3 different radiation volumes. The 5-year overall survival rate was 98%. The recurrence rate significantly differed according to the radiation volume. 0% in whole brain radiation group, 28% recurrence rate in the limited local field irradiation with less than 2 cm margin, and 6% recurrence rate in the extended local field radiation group. Hence, this study concluded that combination of chemotherapy with whole ventricular radiation in addition to focal radiation to be the optimal treatment in pure geminoma with localized disease. SIOP-CNS GCT96 clinical trial was one of the largest European international studies for pure geminoma. This study showed that CSI dose reduction of 24 gray followed by 16 gray boost is effective in metastatic pure geminoma. Presence of residual lesion at the end of treatment is not identified as a poor risk factor. Localized pure geminoma patients received either CSI alone or 4 courses of chemotherapy followed by focal radiation of 40 gray. 6 out of 7 localized relapsed pure geminoma patients treated with this combination treatment showed reduced recurrence in the ventricle outside the radiation field. This pattern of relapse resulted in inclusion of ventricles in the radiation field to reduce the risk of recurrence. Therefore, the current treatment for localized pure geminoma is to provide whole ventricular radiation. Based on the results that I presented earlier, 24 gray whole ventricular radiation is the treatment of choice in current SIOP-CNS GCT2 clinical trial. In this trial, focal radiation to primary tumor site is only recommended in partial response and stable disease patients and not in complete remission patients. Recently, Dr. Kalaminas shared the interim analysis data during ISPNA 2020 conference. In this study, a total of 182 patients were recruited. 70 patients achieved complete remission, 98 patients had partial response, 7 patients showed stable disease, and 2 patients showed progressive disease. The median follow-up was 3.7 years. The reported outcome was excellent in this study. The 4-year event-free survival was 99% in 70 complete remission patients only with whole ventricular radiation of 24 gray without primary tumor boost. The remaining patients with partial response and stable disease demonstrated 4-year event-free survival was 92% with combination treatment with whole ventricular radiation and primary tumor boost. Therefore, this study recommended 24 gray whole ventricular radiation alone is sufficient enough for disease control in localized geminoma in complete remission patients after initial chemotherapy. The interim analysis data of COG ACNS 1123 stratum 2 for localized geminoma was also presented by Dr. Bartels during ISPNO conference. At the end of chemotherapy in 137 eligible patients, 62.3% had complete remission, 30% had partial response, and 7.68% had stable disease. 90 patients were evaluable for radiation. Out of 90 patients, 74 patients achieved complete remission and received 18 gray whole ventricular radiation with 12 gray boost to primary tumor site. The progression-free survival and overall survival rate were excellent despite reducing the whole ventricular radiation dose to 18 gray. 4 patients from 18 gray whole ventricular radiation group relapsed, in which 2 patients relapsed in the spinal region, another 2 patients relapsed in the intracranial region along the biopsy and shunt tract. The 2-drug regimen without hyperhydration was tolerated very well, especially in diabetes insipidus patient. In conclusion, the interim analysis showed excellent outcome with 18 gray whole ventricular radiation. In addition to COG study, another Korean study also demonstrated excellent outcome with 18 gray whole ventricular radiation in localized pure geminoma. Switching gears now to treatment for non-geminomatous germ cell tumor. Non-germinative stem cell tumors are less radiosensitive. CSI alone has resulted in poor outcome. Therefore, multi-agent chemotherapy, surgery, and radiotherapy are treatment of choice in this group. In SIOP CNS DCT-96 clinical trial, non-germinative stem cell tumor is treated with 4 courses of chemotherapy and followed by focal radiation of 54 Gray in localized tumor and CSI of 30 Gray plus 24 Gray boost in metastatic disease. The 5-year progression-free survival was ranging from 68 to 72% and the 5-year overall survival rate was ranging from 75 to 82%. In this clinical trial, focal radiation was not associated with increased risk of relapse in the ventricle or distant site due to dose-intense chemotherapy and short time to radiation. Residual disease at the end of treatment and high serum and CSF AFP at diagnosis are identified as risk factors for relapse. Based on the identified risk factors for relapse from the previous study, current SIOP CNS CCT2 clinical trial has stratified the treatment regimen into standard risk and high risk. Moving on to COG regimen, COG used different approach than SIOP. COG ACNS 0122 regimen consists of 6 courses of chemotherapy and followed by CSI in complete remission patients. Partial response patients will undergo second look surgery before proceeding to radiation therapy or high-dose chemotherapy. Superior outcome was observed in this study. In addition, excellent response rate was observed with carboplatin-based induction regimen, supporting the notion that carboplatin can safely replace cisplatin for the treatment of non-germinative stem cell tumor. 4 progressive disease patients were diagnosed to have growing teratoma syndrome. On detailed analysis, all complete remission patients and partial response localized patients at the end of chemotherapy induction and second look surgery demonstrated excellent outcome more than 90%. Hence, this result suggests that radiation dose reduction and volume reduction in the subsequent COG clinical trial ACNS 1123. Only patients with localized non-germinative stem cell tumor were eligible to ACNS 1123. Chemotherapy was very much similar to ACNS 0122 and followed by reduced dose of radiation and volume to whole ventricular radiation of 30.6 Gray and boost up to 54 Gray in complete remission and partial response patients. 61.7% of patients achieved complete remission and partial response in this study. After central review, 8 patients were diagnosed to have disease recurrence. 6 patients had spinal relapse and 2 patients had combined relapse. In conclusion, patients with localized non-germinative stem cell tumor who achieved complete remission and partial response to chemotherapy and received reduced dose of radiation showed promising results similar to patients in ACNS 0122 who received full dose of CSI. The patterns of failure in this study were distinct, in which all patients having treatment failure in the spine. This is the survival comparison as well as patterns of relapse between 3 main studies in North America and Europe. ACNS 1123 demonstrating more distant relapse, whereas SIOP DCT-96 and COG ACNS 0122 showing more local and distant relapse. Management of diabetes insipidus in intracranial germ cell tumor patients during hyperhydration is a challenge due to significant variation in sodium level and fluid balance status. Based on retrospective analysis in hospital for sick children, marked variation in daily sodium level, urine output, and fluid intake were observed in diabetes insipidus patients with daily DDAVP dose adjustment. In addition, diabetes insipidus patients had prolonged hospital stay, with 6 of them developed significant neurological complication. Therefore, management guidelines of diabetes insipidus should be established when these chemotherapy agents are used, especially in limited resource settings. In conclusion, combination treatment with chemotherapy and radiation is recommended in localized pyogeminoma. Whole ventricular radiation is the treatment of choice in addition to chemotherapy and primary focal radiation in localized pyogeminoma. CSI dose of 24 gray with 16 gray boost is the gold standard in metastatic pyogeminoma. For non-germinated germ cell tumor, risk and the benefits between reduced radiation dose and volume versus full dose of CSI following chemotherapy should be discussed in detail with families. Thank you.